Hey guys, welcome back into another video, and today I'm going to show you guys my Wisp build. If you want to skip to different sections of the video, you can refer the timestamps that will be displayed on your screen right now. So how do you obtain Wisp? You can do so by defeating the Ropaloli. Based on Warframe wiki, you can extract a full set on 8 or 9 tries. It took me 7 tries to obtain the full set, so it's pretty accurate. Another thing to note is that you need 1.2k hexanon to craft the full set, so you should definitely stockpile some resources. So now I'm going to go through her abilities because she's a new Warframe, then I'll cover her build. So first of all, we go through her passive. Whenever she's airborne, not shooting, she will be invisible. This is pretty good because it introduces a new way to play Wisp. If you stay in the air, you basically reduce the chances of dying. And also, if you equip aim glide mods and all that crap, you can eventually do a spy mission with Wisp. Moving on, we have Reservoirs. Whenever you use this ability, you'll put down a very nice flower pot. What these Reservoirs do is that it attaches buffs to you or your allies in the form of motes. There are 3 types of Reservoirs or motes. We have Vitality, which provides extra maximum health and also regeneration. Then we have Haste, which provides extra movement and attack speed. And then we have Shock, which provides crowd control. And what I mean by the crowd control is that it shocks enemies. It deals electric damage, and this status type is known for stunning enemies. Both the Reservoir and the mote can actually exert shocks. And also, a maximum of 6 reservoirs can be placed at once. This is a really useful ability, as it can buff, crowd control, and also make yourself tanky. Next we have Will or Wisp, which basically spawns an image of Wisp that moves forward in motion. What this ability does is that it attracts enemy fire. If you use this ability again while it's still active, you can teleport to the Will or Wisp. If you press and hold this ability, the image will go even faster. But when you release the key, you would teleport to the image, which is kinda inconvenient because 2 is literally right above W. So it's going to limit your movement in some way. This might be a useless ability, but wait till I explain about Breach Search, which is the next ability. What it does is that it blinds nearby enemies and it creates this kind of glow on their heads. When you do damage to them, they will release Search sparks, and these sparks, they deal damage towards nearby enemies. This ability has synergies with Reservoir and Will or Wisp. Casting this ability on the Reservoir will teleport to it. While doing so, it doubles the range of your Breach Search. This will help you to cover a lot of area, and with this combo, you're able to deal a lot of crowd control. Casting this ability while Will or Wisp is still active will release a second Breach Search, which can also cover a lot of area. My build is going to be based on these 3 abilities, using their synergies as much as possible. Finally, we have Soulgate, which is a DPS ability. It uses the power of the sun to shoot a freaking laser beam. If you hold left click or your fire button, it will double the damage of Soulgate at the cost of twice the energy consumption. This ability has a synergy with Reservoir. Vitality and Shock modes will give you 25 damage increase each. So in total, we have 50% damage increase. The Haste mode allows Soulgate to deal corrosive damage. So if we have all 3 modes active, it basically provides your Soulgate a lot of damage increase and the ability to deal corrosive damage, which is going to be really useful against greenier enemies. Soulgate is a pretty neat ability, but unfortunately, we're not going to be focusing on this ability. Now, moving on to the build. This is my 2 or 3 FORMAS super support build. Honestly, at this point, it's more of a crowd control / tank build. Over here, we have 4 power strength mods. We have Umbra Intensify, Transient Fortitude, Power Drift, and Augur Secrets. All of these increases the effectiveness of your reservoir buffs and other crowd control related aspects of Wisp. Having more than 200% strength is really useful, as it increases the strength of your reservoir buffs. Next, we have Prime Continuity. It increases ability duration of course, and it is important for every ability. For example, your Reservoir, it increases the time of your buffs, so you don't have to keep refreshing your buffs. It's also to counter Transient Fortitude, which negatively affects power duration. Next, we have Streamlined. Obviously, it reduces ability cost, since you're going to be casting a lot of abilities over time, so why not have a little bit of efficiency? If you can't live without a higher duration, you can replace this mod with Augur Message. You can also replace it with Flow or with its Prime variant, but you don't really need to do that because Wisp has the highest energy pool of all Warframes. The same goes for Volt Prime, Chroma Prime, Saren Prime and Baruch. So if you want to play it safe, then go ahead. In the end, it's going to be your build, so you can change it however you want. Next, we have Stretch. It benefits your ability's coverage. Reservoirs will have a bigger area. Shock modes will stun enemies further away. Breach Search will cover more area around you and your Will-O-Wisp, or even a bigger radius when you TP to a reservoir, since it will double the range of your third while doing so. And then we have Vitality, which generally increases survivability. This also benefits from your Reservoirs Vitality mode, reaching up to more than 1.4k health. Adaptation is one of the best tank mods in Warframe. It adds resistance towards a certain type of damage after receiving it. So combined with the 1.4k HP, it makes her really hard to kill. And then for Arcanes, we can use Arcane Guardian or Arcane Grace or Arcane Energize. The extra armor you can get from Arcane Guardian improves overall survivability. It also goes really well with adaptation. Arcane Grace synergizes too damn well with the same mod. If you're constantly taking damage, you're basically giving a lot of chances for Arcane Grace to proc. When doing so, you also have a lesser chance to die because of adaptation. So when you have Arcane Grace, most likely you will have more HP regeneration compared to the damage you're taking. Unfortunately, I don't have this Arcane, so I can't really show you guys any supporting footage or what we call B-roll. And finally, we have Arcane Energize. It provides extra energy since you'll be casting a lot of abilities, mainly Will-O-Wisp and Breach Search. Moving on, how do you fully utilize this build? Well, there are many ways to play as Wisp. For example, to control a big crowd of enemies, you can activate Will-O-Wisp, then use Breach Search on them. Since this ability is going to happen twice, one on you and one on the image of yourself, which is the Will-O-Wisp, it's going to cover a lot of area. Basically, you can blind a lot of enemies while using this combo. Another way of playing is to stun lock enemies. You want to go to a place or a defense objective, place down one Vitality and Haste Reservoir so you can get the buffs. Since you have 4 more reservoirs you can put down, you want to select your Shock Reservoir and then put down 4 of them around the defense objective or anywhere you want. Enemies that come close will be stunned really easily. Since you have your Shock mode, you can basically create a stun lock to enemies, as seen in the footage shown. This is applicable to many types of missions, but I think defense, mobile defense, disruption or interception would be more suitable for this. You can also be very mobile and doing a lot of crowd control at the same time. By using Breach Search, you can teleport around reservoirs. Doing so will double the range of Breach Search, covering a lot of area as previously mentioned. It's useful if you remember where you have placed your reservoirs. It also depends whether you have a clear line of sight between you and your reservoir. Finally, here is a very useful way to utilize Breach Search. As seen in Shy's video, you want to use a weapon that can strip armor and another weapon that can deal gas status. A really good armor stripping weapon would be Pox or Torrid. You can pop down a few projectiles from those weapons and then use something like Zenith Star to quickly kill those enemies, just like in the footage shown. And I guess that's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it or if you found it informative, then be sure to leave a like, write a nice comment, and please consider subscribing. If you want to buy me a cup of coffee, you can check out my Ko-fi page in the link in the description below. Thank you for watching once again, and I'll catch you guys in another one.